is a review lesson on how to do the various climate calculations that you've learned in class. So let's start with our temperature range. So in the temperature range, we're going to be subtracting our lowest month from our highest month in a given year. So you're going to have a look here, and our highest temperature is, of course, 15 degrees Celsius, and our lowest temperature is -10. So we're going to take 15 minus -10. Now, of course, two negatives make a positive, so in fact you're actually adding 15 plus 10, which is going to give you 25 degrees Celsius. So our temperature range for Jasper, Alberta is 25 degrees Celsius. In annual average temperature, what you're going to be doing is you're going to take all of your temperatures that from January to December, and you're going to add them together. So -10 plus -5 plus -1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 13 plus -3 and -9. So we're going to add those all up together. Gives you an answer of 63. And you're going to take that answer and you're going to divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So 63 divided by 12 gives us an answer of 5.25. 5 degrees Celsius, and that is your annual average temperature. To calculate the total precipitation, this is pretty straightforward. All you're going to do is add up your precipitation totals. So you're going to just literally take 31, just like with the average temperature, but you're not dividing anything. You're just going to add them all together. Gives you a total of 394. And of course, this is millimeters that this is being represented with. And that's calculating the calculating the precipitation. Now, to determine the snowfall equivalent, this is where it starts to get a little bit trickier. In determining the snowfall equivalent, you're going to take each month that has a temperature at 0 or less than 0, so any negative number or any number that's at 0, and you're going to multiply it by 10, multiply the precipitation by 10. The reason we do this is for every 10 millimeters of precipitation, it equals 100 millimeters of snowfall. So the months that we have a 0 or less temperature are January, February, March, November, and December. So we're going to take the precipitation for those months and we're going to add them together. So 31 plus 17 plus 16 plus 28 plus 27 gives us a total of 119. And of course, we're going to multiply that by 10, which gives us an answer of 1,190 millimeters. And that is the calculation for our snowfall equivalent. For the length of the growing season, what you're going to do is you're going to take the months where there's a temperature of 6 degrees Celsius or more. These are the months in which things can actually grow within Canada. So the months that have a temperature of more than 6 degrees Celsius are May, June, July, August, September. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take the number of days in those months. Now, in class, you may have learned about the knuckle trick, where you can kind of cheat and determining which month has how many days, but it's pretty straightforward. January has 31, February 28, and we always go by 28 as the standard, even if there is a leap year. March is 31, April 30, May 31, June 30. July has 31, August has 31 as well, and September has 30, October 31, November 30, and December 31. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take only these months here and add those ones up. So we're going to take 31 plus 30 plus 31 plus 31 plus 30. And let's calculate that. And we have an answer of 153. 153, which is our total number of days in the growing season. And that's calculating the length of our growing season. For the seasonal distribution of precipitation, we're going to be looking at our winter and our summer months. And so representing winter is going to be our last 3 months of October to December and our first 3 months of January to March. And what we're going to be doing is taking our precipitation totals for those months and adding them up. If winter is higher, that means the seasonal distribution is in winter. If the summer is higher, then it's going to be then the summer is going to be higher. And of course, obviously, everything else is our summer months, which we'll represent by red. So let's start with our winter. So we're going to take our precipitation plus 27. So let's add that, which gives us a total of 150 millimeters. And let's do our summer months, which is 21 plus 29 plus 50 plus 7. And again, we're going to add those up. And our summer is 244. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties here. So our summer is 244 millimeters because I added up all of these figures in our summer months. And so obviously summer is weighed more heavily. Our winter was 150, our summer is 244. Therefore, our seasonal distribution for Jasper is summer. Okay? And that's calculating the seasonal distribution. All right, so in calculating or determining the whether an area is a continental climate or a maritime climate, what you need to do is you need to take your temperature range, your precipitation, and your seasonal distribution, and you need to have a look at them. If two of the three weigh heavily in one way or in one area or the other, then that is going to be that area. Okay, so let's have a look. So for temperature range, let's go back to our temperature range. And the temperature range for Jasper was 25, so we're dead on the temperature range. So that could be a problem. So let's go back. Okay, so our temperature range was 25. We'll just record it in here. Our precipitation, is it less than or more than 1,000? Our total precipitation was 394, so it's less than 1,000. And our seasonal distribution was in the summer. And so, which was 244. So if we have two of the three that meet into one characteristic or the other, then that is going to make us be continental or maritime. So in this scenario, of the three, we have a total precipitation of less than 1,000 millimeters and a seasonal distribution of summer. So two of the three match. If it's dead on, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult, but you'll always have two of the three that you'll be able to tell from. Normally, you would hope for a 3 out of 3 scenario, but in this case, we're good. We have the 2 out of 3. Therefore, Jasper is a continental climate that we see here on the left-hand side. If you saw that you had a winter seasonal distribution, a total precipitation of more than 1,000 millimeters, and a temperature range of less than 25 degrees Celsius, then it would be a maritime climate. Now, if I just go back to the slide here, you're going to notice this section here, and I didn't really talk about that when I was at this slide. In the case of a maritime climate, so a maritime climate would be an area that's near a body of water. If you see a large difference between your answer for winter and summer, and by large I mean 200 millimeters or more, okay? If you see a large difference, then it's going to be a West Coast maritime area. So something like Victoria, BC, or Vancouver, British Columbia, Queen Charlotte Islands. Those would be a West Coast maritime climate. If there's a small difference, so less than 200 millimeters, then that's most likely going to be an East Coast area. So for example, Halifax, Nova Scotia, or St. John's, Newfoundland. And so sometimes I might ask you on a test to differentiate between the west and the east coast. So keep that in mind if you do have a maritime climate. In the case of Jasper, we had a continental climate, so it wasn't relevant. But just take note of it because it may prove to be important later on in the course. Good luck!